All right, let's take a look at the market. It's pre-market Friday and everything has been dumping the whole morning, okay? Everything has been dumping. Qs are down, SPY's down. All it looks like everything is red, with the exception of some stocks, okay? And one of them I've been calling out for maybe 2 weeks now, but I'll talk about that later. But let's look at what's going on in the Qs. The name of the game today is gonna be levels, okay? For the Qs, you want to see this level hold right here. That's that 685 level. If we cannot hold that level, we're going to be in big trouble, okay? That's the level we've had some action in for the past, going back into last year. We did bounce there a few times this year, briefly broke out of this compression wedge pattern, traded back into the pattern, and then we did this retest, and look at that, back down to the lows, okay? So if we can't hold these lows, what do you expect, right? We should see some break, retest, and then the continuation. Because once the pattern starts forming, the trend is going to continue. What I said earlier last week was once we traded out of this wedge, whatever direction we traded out of, that's the direction that we're going to start trending in. And what happened? We did break out of that pattern and we're trending lower. For the bulls, we need to find some support right here, and we need to take out that level right here at 725. Anything above 730 before you can feel confident again that the trend might be changing and we might be hitting back to the all-time highs. Okay, let's look at the SPY. Same thing going on over here in the SPY. Basically, we've been in a range for the past months now. Okay, we've just been trading around in this range. We did hold this uptrend, thought we would break out, but market doesn't care what you think, and we did break out to the downside. If you know anything about these patterns, even though this is an ascending triangle, if we break out to the downside, we cannot hold these levels again. We might get a retest before possible sell-off, and if we do get that sell-off, then you need to look for maybe back down to 720s for the SPY. Okay, so the name of the game today again is levels. We need to hold these levels and push back higher, get some rebound. And once we take out these levels again, then you can look for maybe a push higher up into the all-time highs and then a continuation. Again, the overall market is basically trading just like this. Let's look at Google, and you're going to see a lot of these stocks, they're doing the same things. Looking at levels again, if we can't hold this level, we should get some kind of break, retest, and then a push back lower. This is an area that we should watch. 320 on Google, 330. Those are clear levels that you can watch if we break this level. Again, for the bulls, you need to see some kind of rebound today. You need to see some kind of rebound today, maybe some kind of retest next week, and then a push higher. We've struggled in these areas before, so until we break out of that level right here, about 375, somewhere around there, and actually hold it, not like break and then dump. All right, you need to see this hold. You need to see the move above the retest and the continuation, because that's the only way that you can actually feel comfortable getting in longs. Other than that, you need to watch for the retest and then the move down. NVIDIA. NVIDIA again did the same thing. Cannot break over the support. We did test, sold off, retest, and now we're selling off again. Been trading in this channel for past month and a half now. We did retest the channel line again, and now we're retesting again. Only good thing for the bulls would be for us to hold this level. Again, like I said, today is just levels. If we cannot hold these levels that we already sold off into and a push higher, we're in a lot of trouble. These are the levels on NVIDIA that we need to take out. Same thing as Amazon. Same thing as Google. This is Amazon. It's the same thing. Amazon actually did the same thing Google did. Broke out and then sold right back off, right? But these are the same levels that we've had problem in. Only thing going good for Amazon right now is that we do have the 160 still below acting as support. So today I'm going to look for some kind of holding up in this area today. I don't think Amazon will sell off or break that level, but I could be wrong. The market could just drag this down. But if I am correct, I am going to look for a bounce here, take out this level again, possibly get some kind of retest next week, and then a continuation. Let's take a look at oil for a second. Oil has been on the move since the beginning of July. And we also need to pay attention to this because once oil start rising, that's not good for the market. That's going to give the market a lot of inflation fear and hopes that the Fed's going to keep rates high, or well, keep rates steady, or actually raise rates, okay? We have a gap to fill here on oil at 84, okay? So pay attention to that. If we continue higher, which it looks like we may because we're trading and just trending higher, right? Just trend higher. Break out of here, that's where we're gonna head. Right back up into that gap before we get some kind of like action, maybe a rejection, maybe you see something like this, push back up here, and then a sell-off. But other than that, just be careful in the market. Realty income is the one that I called this out last week. We had trouble in this area, same as Amazon, same as NVIDIA, same as Google. We finally broke and we held, and what we know, over these levels, we are bullish, right? Over these levels, we are bullish. So we broke and we held this level, and look what happened. The market is selling off, and this is just skyrocketing back to the top of the range. That was a solid trade. I've been calling that out for the past week and a half now, maybe. All right. But anyways, that's it for today. Just wanted to let y'all know what's going on in the market and let y'all know to be careful and just watch these levels, okay? Be very